Welcome to the Japan Winward Leeward race made by Disco Infidel, who usually makes very good races. We have a bit of competition: Disco, Sneddles, Monk, and Shogun, which is always nice to see. Got a little bit of fair wind here, probably going to be a little bit of reefing involved. And as I haven't been in this boat for a couple of weeks, it's going to be an interesting one. Waiting to about 2 minutes here before I start my run at the line. Controls feel very, very light today. Just pulling up a little bit, and then I'll come across. 2 minutes. We'll see how I'm going. 146, that's pretty good. Could trim up a little bit more, but I'm happy as it is. It's a little bit too fast. I'll turn off a bit again. So let's go out again. $105, $115. I'm going to be a little bit fast here. It's okay. Turn away a little bit, but $55, $47. It's going to be tight. Just turn up a little bit. Come across. Disco's try to get the inside running here. Really hope I haven't misjudged this. It's a very small line. This goes right on it. Let's squeeze him a little bit, but not too much. 13 seconds. 10. Get away from that line. Don't want to cross it. 2, 1, go. Oh, he's early. He's early.
So, who has the right of way in that situation? Well, the first question is, was my stern clear, or were we in line? I believe we were probably in line, so that has one consideration. But the other consideration is this here. Basically, when two boats are overlapped on the same tack, the windward boat must keep clear of the leeward boat, even though he was a little bit further behind here. And then at the start, no barging at the start, so I guess this would be Disco Infidel here, this would be me. I'm allowed to shut him out a little bit, which I did. It was probably a little bit of bad form, but yeah, I was fully in my rights to do that. Before the start signal, green boat has the right to go head to wind and force a windward overlap boat over the start line or into a position that it must avoid the committee boat or start mark by turning away. So that's why he crossed the line. I pinched him a little bit and squeezed him into a situation where he either had to foul me or go around again, which is what he had to do in the end anyway. But in the other rules that I was just looking at here, avoiding contact. When a right-of-way boat chooses course, she shall give the other boat room to keep clear. Now, did I do that? Not really. So, even though I'm allowed to at the start line, it's really not a good idea to do that. So I believe that I could have incurred a penalty as well, but it was one of those things. anyway, I'd like to hear what Disco Infidel has to say about it, or anybody else that has much more experience in racing than me. Thank you. Back to the race. Okay, so Disco has to peel off and go around the start buoy again, which he will do in a second. We'll have Monk on our tail very shortly, and I will go into a fast forward sequence. So trying to keep the same angle here as he eventually will peel away. And a little bit longer later, not very long, and you can see that Disco has gone around the mark there. I've just tacked across Monk, who has followed me around, and on the far side of the course we have Deja Vu. So in these conditions, checking the main sheet all the time, keeping the reef going at the right percentages for the boat heel. I find between 28 to 30 is not too bad, and I can push my AWA because the wind's so good today between probably 21 and 25. So conditions do play a part in keeping my AWA at the right angle. So just a little bit of this downwind, but at the moment you'll see behind me is Disco, and we have them about to collide. Well, not collide, but Shogun rightfully called starboard, and Disco has to go around the back of him. Although from the map it looks like Deja Vu then points back up and almost crosses back across him. I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, if this was air traffic control, there would be red lights flashing. So they're extremely close there, and I get to the top of the mast just to have a little look back, and you can see that they are very, very close together. A little bit of attack here across. In these wind conditions, there wasn't a lot of wind oscillation, and now down towards the first mark, giving myself plenty of room. Not a lot of pressure at the moment, thankfully, to that that start that I got. Starts are so important in races and in real life as well. When I was racing recently at Gyokpo, our starts really determined how well we did in the end. Most of our starts were not that good, but it's a skill that needs to be learnt. So anyway, around and heading up TWA 142. I'll go to 160 in a while. Bring down the halyard. Abortive attempt to do the Kodo, but then realised it needed the Jenica, and then a little bit of trimming up. And this downwind was quite good, as we see Shogun Racing go past there. Deja Vu, and we'll cut again up to the second mark. And as you can see here, I'm just changing a little bit up to the second mark, and I bring down the Spinnaker, the Jenica a little bit too soon here, a little out of race practice, and get the jib up. Lost a little bit of time there, doing 6 knots instead of 12, even though it's on about 30 seconds. It does make a little difference. So. And then what I do is I turn back across the course, because I want to be on the windward side a little bit more. and you'll probably be able to see Monk go past, as well as Disco Infidel, who is slowly starting to catch Monk. So there was Monk going past, and the next one up here is Disco Infidel with his beautiful Jenica. I just caught a glimpse of it, and then on my starboard side here we'll see that Deja Vu with his nice swirly spinnaker as well, Jenica, sorry, is doing well. And off we go, off to the races again. A little bit of tacking, and then down to the final mark. You can see that Disco Infidel has caught up quite considerably to Monk. It seemed to get closer and closer each tack on this leg. Disco is quite adept at tacking, and not to be taken lightly. That's why I feel like I was lucky at the start. Otherwise, this would have been a little bit closer than it was. Anyway, turning into the mark now, and get to the proper side of the boat. Slowed down to normal speed. Okay, almost at the line now. Sorry, at the mark now. The last mark around. I'm going to go a little bit more to leeward this time, because it's much better when you're jibing up, or even on that angle for this course. And I'll keep to normal time here so that you can see how close Monk and Disco Infidel are. Bringing down the jib, and don't have the main out as well as I should do, but it's okay. Got a little bit of time to play with. Jenica up, get that main sheet right, and yeah, probably need to play with the outhaul and Cunningham a little bit once I unreef. But here is Monk coming past our port, and Disco has just gone past as well. They're on different tacks, but very, very close to each other. And then just a few seconds later, we're going to get catch sight of Deja Vu, who is out of sorts, as he hasn't been racing for quite a long time. It's probably been out for 4 or 5 months now, and I know that he will, if he continues to race in Sail Away, he'll be a strong contender in the future. So we're going to catch sight of him in a second. There he is there. Just goes past as Monk and Disco get very, very close to the line. And I think it's Disco who gets around first, but that would have been lovely to have a different camera. And finally, coming up to the race finish. Just wishing people well, and the race for second and third is really hot behind me. So turn across, and I'll be there in probably about a minute, less than a minute. So job done for the day. I've got no real racing in real life today, as it's been monsooning. It's the monsoon season, sorry, up in Busan. A lot of rain, and a typhoon coming through this week. So We'll see how that goes. Probably have to go down and put out some fenders on the boat. And as I turn around, I'm going to speed up the action a bit just to show you who comes second and who comes third. Get to a mast position so I can have a good look. You've got the orange of, well, looks orange here anyway, of Monk, and the white and black of Disco Infidel, who seems to have rolled over Monk in that last bit, and he comes across the line, finishes only around about what's that, 7 seconds in front of Monk, so pretty good. Thanks to everybody, and have a good day.